Qualities that make someone an ideal client for MONTAG. I think the first thing that comes to mind is a delegator, someone who has been accustomed to doing things themselves. They want to be self-reliant. They say, I know what I'm doing. But then life gets complicated. It's very easy to have 8 or 10 or 16 accounts that you have to look after. In the meantime, your job responsibilities have grown. And you come to realize, oh my goodness, this is a lot more complicated than it used to be.
People who want to delegate fundamentally are the right fit. People who don't have a lot of expertise about the field that we're in. Probably the most time-starved of all is the entrepreneur. My dad used to say, any 80 hours a week you want to work, you can be very flexible as an entrepreneur. But business owners, people who are running enterprises, we have a number of those folks. Generally speaking, we work with a lot of strong and independently minded women.
We tend to have an affinity for bringing in a lot of women that either were not as familiar with investing or are familiar, but they kind of like the familiar attitude that we have here at MONTAG.
We're often looking for the person who's not quite sure where to turn. They're a group of people, usually somewhere between the age of 20 and 70, frankly. I mean, the age is irrelevant. But they suddenly find themselves handling their affairs at a level they didn't expect. So they might have seen their assets grow because they were successful professionally. They might have sold something. They may have gone through a divorce or something. But ultimately, they're kind of left with a large pool of assets, and they're not quite sure who to turn to.
And so what we like to do is sit down with those folks, kind of talk through what their futures are and kind of what they're wanting to accomplish with these assets.
We work with complicated families. Often the families need somebody acting as a go-between, or they need somebody handling this part of the family's affairs while the family's focused on something else. We work with a lot of multi-branch families, a lot of work with multi-generational families.
We have several families where we have worked with that family for several generations. Our hope is to work with somebody for years. Longevity is a key component of building a portfolio. Time is one of the greatest ingredients you can have.
Services that people are looking for when they come to MONTAG is increasingly a full, comprehensive understanding of their financial picture. We routinely work with clients, we work with their attorneys, with their CPAs, and I think together we work very collaboratively to surround and support the client. Again, so the clients can do the things that they are best at and that they feel very comfortable and confident that they have this team of professionals that they know and that they trust to help them do the things that they do best.